This is R.D. Sharma, class 11, chapter 29, limits. We are discussing limits and we are going to see how we are going to evaluate the algebraic limits. That means evaluation of algebraic limits. We'll talk about trigonometric later, but here there are certain methods, certain ways. In broad categorization, there are five categories. The first one is called as direct substitution method. First is called direct substitution method. Here, as the name suggests, we will just put the value, directly the value. For example, we have limit extends to a and we have a function here fx. We will put a in place of x directly. Let me tell you what we have discussed earlier. That is, if we have infinity by infinity, we have 0 into infinity, we have infinity minus infinity, or 0 to the power 0, infinity to the power 0, or we have 1 to the power infinity. All these are the forms where we are dealing with infinite, that is 0 by 0, or you can say 1 by 0. 1 by 0 is what we are dealing with. That is, this is not a continuous function, whichever we are discussing. It's cut somewhere, or it is not continuous. That is why it is not differentiable. So this is a thing here. So I was discussing about first method, direct substitution method. So what do we do here? For example, let me take an example. Here limit x tends to 2 x square minus 4 by x plus 3. Now if I put x as 2, what will happen? No, nothing is going to happen, because it will be 2 square, that is 4 minus 4 by 2 plus 3. That is 0 by 5. So it's a legal value, it's a valid value. 0 is a valid value. So no problem, even if you put x as 2, it doesn't matter. Only the infinite is our scenario. That is where we think. So first thing is just put the value directly. This is direct substitution. The second one is the factorization method. Factorization method. So the name is suggesting factorize. Do the factorization. We'll do the factorization. So if we are able to make the factors of numerator and denominator, if we have function of this fx by gx form, we have limit x tends to a, fx by gx. These are two functions, numerator, denominator. Now if the limit is x tending to a, if we put somewhere something so that 0 by 0 comes, now we have to think in another way. That is 0 by 0 we cannot deal with. Or even gx is 0, that is also not also what we are thinking of, because that will be infinite. So we need to factorize in a way so that we get a proper result. So there are certain formula you have to remember. A square minus b square is a minus b, a plus b. You just need to remember, because this is what we are going to use a lot. A cube minus b cube, this is equal to a minus b, a plus b, a square plus ab plus b square. Then we have a cube plus b cube. A cube plus b cube is what? A plus b, a square. Here it will be minus ab plus b squared. Then we have a to the power 4 minus b to the power 4. So here you get a square minus b square into a square plus b square. And this a square minus b square can also be opened, a minus b, a plus b. So a square plus b square. So these formula we are going to use a lot. So I'll just give an example so that you understand how do we factorize it, what is the procedure. So let us take a small example. We have this limit x tends to 1 and we have x cube minus 1 by x minus 1. So x cube minus 1, now this 1 can be written as 1 cube. So this is a formula of a cube minus b cube. A cube minus b cube. So we can apply this formula I just mentioned, a minus b, a square plus ab plus b square, and a, what is a here? X. B is what here? 1. So let's use this formula. A is x and b is 1. So just put it here, x minus 1, x square plus x plus 1 divided by x minus 1. Now limit is x tends to 1. Now see, x minus 1, you can just cancel them. You can cancel them. So only x square plus x plus 1 will remain. And this will remain. That means you can always put x as 1 here. Just put x as 1. So we have 1, 1, 1. So 3. That is 0 by 0 problem, or that thing we have devised a method. Now the limit is existing sometimes. Limit exists, left hand limit exists, right hand limit exists. So all these permutation combination we need to see while solving all this. The third method which we are discussing is the rationalization method. What method? Rationalization method. So rationalization simple means it has to be in px by qx or fx or gx form. So wherever we have this form 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity form, then in order to remove it or to get rid of it, if at all it is possible, we will multiply it with a conjugate or a rational way. So minus to plus, plus to minus. So here let me show you, this is limit x tends to 0. Here we have root 2 plus x minus root 2 divided by x. So this x is tending to 0. If you put x as 0, you get root 2 minus root 2 by 0. And this is of course 0 by 0, which is what we don't want. 0 by 0. So what do? We will do the rationalization here. So we will multiply numerator and denominator by the conjugate of, or the rationalization factor of the numerator. Let's see here. So we will multiply numerator and denominator by root 2 plus x plus root 2. Root 2 plus x plus root 2. So root 2x plus root 2 and root 2x plus root 2. Numerator, denominator. So a plus b, a minus b, again a square minus b square we can use. We know the formula here. So root 2 plus x whole square, a square. A is root 2 plus x, b is root 2. So a square minus b square, and here we have x into root 2 plus x and plus root 2. A square minus b square, if you open 2x, 2 plus x minus 2. So we have x in the denominator. So x only remain in the numerator and there is 1 in the denominator. So eventually you have removed this x. This x gets cancelled out. So now you put x as 0 here. It will be 1 by root 2 plus root 2. That is 2 root 2. So the problem of 0 by 0 infinity by infinity has been avoided here. Now the fourth method which we are going to discuss, this is called as evaluation of algebraic limits by using some standard limits. So there are certain standard relations, standard way, and that we can use. So we are not going to prove this. I'll just tell you a theorem. This is x to the power n minus a to the power n, x minus a. Here we have this as limit x tends to a, it will be n a to the power n minus 1. So wherever we have this kind of algebraic expression, we will directly use n a to the power n minus 1. We will directly use the formula. And this is not the only one. There are other relationships also that can be directly applied. I am giving you one of them so that you understand how we apply it. So you don't have to go to the proof of this. So let me just the benefit. How do we? Let me take an example so that we understand better. This is limit x tends to 2, x to the power 10 minus 1024 by x minus 2. Now if you see here, this is 1024. 1024 is 2 to the power 10. So this is x to the power 10 minus 2 to the power 10 by x minus 2. So this is of this form. X is x here, a is 2 here, and n is 10 here. So if you say x tends to 2, so you can, if you put x as 2, it will be 0 by 0. 2 to the power 10 minus 2 to the power 10 divided by 2 minus 2. So what we do, we'll use the standard result which we already have. So we will use 10, a is 2, so 10 2 to the power 10 minus 1, 2 to the power 9. So 10 2 to the power 9, this is what we are going to use, and that is going to be 5120. So these are evaluation of algebraic limits by using some standard limits. This is the fourth method. Now the fifth method of algebraic solution of evaluating the limit is method of evaluation of algebraic limits at infinity. Now what does it mean? This means, you know, the infinity is a very huge number, very long number which we don't know. It's on the number line, end of the number line, and end is not known. Now if you see x is, if you increase x, if I just give a limit, x tends to say infinite. So either it can be minus infinite or plus infinite, doesn't matter. It will be a very huge value. So when we have this huge value, we have this 1 by x, 1 by infinite value will be 0. Because if you divide anything with a very infinite number, it will give you 0. So 1 by x square, or whatever is in the denominator, if you put it as infinite, if the denominator is infinite, the result will come always as 0. This is the logic. These are the logic which we have to use in this solution. So let me just tell you a few more. If limit x tends to infinity c, so you are putting some limit, but it is a constant. 4 is a constant. So what do you get? You will always get 4. I hope you got the idea. If you have plus infinity or minus infinity, it doesn't matter. It will always be 4 because there is no x involved. So we have limit x tends to infinity. X tends to infinity is a very huge number. And if you have a constant number, and if you divide by some x or x square or x to the power n, this x is infinity. So you will always get, because the denominator is in infinity, you will always get 0. Infinity to the power n is infinity. Anything divided by infinity is always 0. Either plus infinity or minus infinity. That is what we are going to use in solving this. So there are steps which we have to take, and I'll explain it with an example. So how do we do this? See, first we have limit x tends to infinity, and we have ax square plus bx plus c, and we have this denominator as dx square plus ex plus f. Now what the first, if I apply infinity directly, it will be infinite by infinite you are going to get. Okay, anything you have infinite, add anything with infinite, it will be infinite. So we don't know, we don't want this. Okay, so first thing is, the first step is you have to take the highest power of x in numerator and denominator both, then divide each term in numerator and denominator by this term x to the power k, whichever it is. So we have ax square plus bx plus c. We are dividing x square, which is the highest power here, dividing numerator and denominator by x square. So dx square plus cx plus f, again divided by x square. Highest power. If it would have been x cube, we would have used x cube. So do you get a, here you get b by x, here you get c by x square. Similarly, you have d here, and then e by x plus f by x square. Now the logic I explained you earlier. If you apply limit x tends to infinity, I am writing on the right hand side, it is pertaining to this one. So x is infinite, so this b by x will be 0. Anything which is having infinite in the denominator will be 0. Only a will remain. Otherwise, b by infinity 0, c by infinity 0, d will remain like this, e by infinity 0, f by infinity 0. So what do you get? A by D. A by D. Okay. This is how we resolve this issue using this algorithm which we use for method of evaluation of algebraic limits at infinity. So there are 5 methods which we discussed, and these are for algebraic solution. And in the next discussion, we are going to see the evaluation of trigonometric limits. So that is a different aspect. So that we will take next time. Till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.